Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, and we're going to be talking Maverick today. We're going to kind of talk about, I'm going to just tell you what's included in this video. We do here at McArthur, we like to have, of course, like to have the vehicles in stock, but we'll do walk-around videos that cover all the standard equipment, plus what's included in different packages and even standalone options. We call them our complete guides. And so that's what we're going to do with this video here. So you will check down the description. You're going to see different timestamps as we go through this video, because I will tell you right now, it probably will be pretty thorough. The XL, I think, video is over 30 minutes long. Maybe even longer, but I'm pretty thorough with these, and so I cover everything. So feel free to move along. A couple things I want to highlight briefly before we dive in, and before you start clicking along. Just want you to stop for just a second, because I do want to talk a little bit about a few things about the reservation process and the order process. So there are some confusion going out there on social media. So on the Maverick, this is a vehicle we can't order right now. So the way that works is you put in a reservation, no deposit needed. You put the reservation in, you select your reserving dealer, and then automatically that goes over to that Ford dealership that you chose. That dealer should be contacting you to go over the order process so that we can go ahead and order your Maverick. And if you put that reservation in, you're not quite ready, know exactly all the equipment you want, that's okay. At least you're getting that contact from that dealer, and they can, once you're ready to do that, and they can tell you how you can figure out what's available, and they can show you that, and I'm going to show you that in this video actually. Then you can go ahead and submit that. And what we're doing here at McArthur is you should be getting a contact probably as soon as, if you do one overnight, should be getting contact from a salesperson within an hour of us opening our doors. So you should be able to get that right away, and then they get in contact with you, and then we can go and help you out and run through that process there. Also, look, when you're doing this, also make sure you get the price of your vehicle at the time of the order. So there's a lot of people out there that dealers aren't telling them what price they're going to do, whether they're going to do an ADM, which is a dealer markup. We're not here at McArthur, but some dealerships may out there. So I'm not doing this video so you necessarily reserve with us. It really doesn't matter. We're here to help if you want to, but hopefully you have a great dealership locally that you can work with. But I'm just telling you, when you do work with them, make sure that you get a price. What we do here at McArthur is we have a signed buyer's order. Once we build that vehicle, you can see what the MSRP is going to be, and we print that out and we send that to you via email, or if you're here in person, we'll print it out so you can have it in person so you can see what that MSRP is. And then we go ahead and do a signed buyer's order. We don't have to work on trade right now because it's going to be several months, and the trade values can really change drastically who knows in the next couple months. But what we do is a signed buyer's order on the vehicle you're buying, so here's what the price is going to be when that vehicle comes in. There's not going to be any changes, especially with right now vehicles being marked up several $1,000s over MSRP on lots. On all of our ordered units, we're doing MSRP. So if it's an ordered unit, that vehicle's not going to go to a lot. It's not going to sit on a lot. It's going to be sold right away. It's going to be sold to you. So we do ask that you do a deposit for that. Sometimes we may not. If it's a very basic build with not a lot of different optional packages, we may not have you put a deposit down if you really don't feel comfortable. But we will give you first shot at that vehicle when it first comes in, of course, and your name will be on that, and we can do a signed buyer's order that will lock in your price at the time. So make sure your dealer does that and locks in that price. Have a signed buyer's order with that right there. And then, if you do want to work with us, we do free shipping. So it won't cost you any more than your local dealer. So we'll still do MSRP. We'll have it shipped right to your door. We're in Salina, Kansas, so we can ship to about anywhere in Kansas, outside of Alaska and Hawaii, and Canada, of course. But we can ship to about anywhere for about $1,000 or less. So we just ask you to finance a vehicle with us. That's it. If you plan on financing a vehicle anyway, then it's going to be a cost that's incurred onto you, and then we get enough kickback from the lender that we can ship it right to your door for free, and then you can get a vehicle ordered from the way you want it to, from a dealership that knows what they're doing here at McArthur Ford. So, but feel free. Hopefully you have a good local dealer there that does that. If they don't do that, you might want to ask them for that. If they're not willing to do that, that may be just a red flag for you. So look for a good dealership that'll do that, or you can just check us out. We do have a link down in the description, so if you do want to reserve with us, click on that link. You can get right to putting us in as your reserving dealer. So let's dive in now. Let's get started. I want to get that out of the way just in case you don't watch the video clear through. And I just wanted to tell you how the process works and make sure you work with a dealership that knows what they're doing. Hopefully you have a local dealer that can do that for you. So first thing I want to show you is on the Ford's website. We are going to go over the standard equipment because you really can't find it on Ford's website real easily. So we're going to kind of show you where you can find that information right here. A lot of people don't realize you can do build and price right now on Ford's website. It's a little hidden because if you actually click on if you go up here to trucks and then go down to Maverick, you can see it doesn't have the build and price link like the other vehicles do, but you can build and price. So what you want to do instead is just click on the vehicle itself, the image there, and then you're going to go to the Maverick page. There's a nice reserve button here, and you can click that, choose McArthur or your local dealer as your reserving dealer if you're ready to do that, or you can go up here to the build and price. So there's a link up here, so go up to that link, the build and price. That's the only place I've found so far to find it. So go to the build and price, and then there you can see different trims. We're going to cover the XLT trim in this video. We did a video on the XL. Hopefully you got a chance to see that. If you didn't, down below we will have a playlist for all the Maverick videos. Click on that playlist at the end of this video or down in the description, and you can see that XL video if you want to. And we're going to be doing a Lariat one as well. So in here you will looking at XLT. Base starting price is $22,200, not too bad. $20,000. That's only $2,000. Go up to XLT, and we're going to show you what you're going to get there. You choose the 2.5 hybrid engine as the standard engine, or you can go with the 2.0 EcoBoost engine. As you can see, it makes about $1,000 difference there when you go to the EcoBoost engine. So they're going to be standard in front-wheel drive and Super Crew model as well there. And then when you're ready, you pick the engine you want, you just hit your start, your build down below. So now these are going to come, again, mentioned Super Crew, standard equipment, front wheel drive is standard. You can, on the 2.0 liter EcoBoost engine, you can get all-wheel drive. So you cannot get all-wheel drive with the hybrid engine. You go to the EcoBoost engine, you will get 250 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque with that engine. And then you will get selectable drive modes on both engines. So you're going to get your normal mode, you're going to get an eco mode, which makes it more efficient there. You're going to have a sport mode, so if you want more of a spirited drive, it's going to hold some of those gears a little longer so that you can drive a little bit more spirited. You have a slippery mode, which will help you in those wet conditions. So what the slippery mode is going to do is change the shifting and the torque that you're going to get delivered to those wheels when you're pulling out from the stop. On a front wheel drive, probably not as big of a deal. My F-150, I do like to go in slippery mode when it's raining or the road's slick or it's snowing out, just because in that way it's not delivering all that torque and my tires kind of slip a little bit at a stop. And then you have a tow haul mode as well. So if you're going to plan on towing with it, it'll help. So that way it's not shifting up and down to the higher gears. It can really hurt a transmission. So put in tow haul mode, we'll keep it down out of those upper gears with the EcoBoost engine. The EcoBoost engines, by the way, will have an 8-speed automatic transmission that are going to come with those. You will get electric parking brake. Of course, most vehicles have many more. I'll show you where that's going to be located when we get to the interior there. You will also, on the hybrid engines, get an electronic park or brake boost. Also, you'll have EPAS, electronic power assist steering. Benefit of that, on the highway, that wind doesn't push you from side to side, stiffens up that steering. But when you're in those, when you need to park the vehicle, they show you an image there of a vehicle being parked along a curb. Then you can see it's a lot easier to turn that steering wheel. You will also, to help with that too, you'll have the variable assist power steering as well. And then you're going to also get electronic stability control. So that's going to really help out. You have that stability control that will help you out in those situations. When you're driving along, maybe going to curves a little too fast, you'll have that stability control to kind of help you out. Now let's talk briefly about safety. And you may not be watching this and care about safety. And if you don't, go ahead and click that next timestamp. You can go on to the exterior. But let's talk about some of the safety features real quick. The airbags. You have a dual stage front airbag, so the driver and front passenger will have a different size airbag. So it depends on how close you are to the front of the vehicle. You will maybe want that smaller airbag deployed. Also, the driver will get a knee airbag, so it deploys down underneath that steering column. So if you have that front collision, it's going to protect you with that knee airbag. Also, you'll have side impact for the driver and front passenger. So if have a side collision, deploy the airbag, protect you from those front collision or those side collisions. and you will have the safety canopy airbag. So it comes down from the roof line. If you have a rollover, it will have a rollover sensor. So if the vehicle rolls over, it deploys those, protecting the occupants. So you can see why Ford calls this their personal safety system, because all kinds of things that go into play there. There's also pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking, includes pedestrian detection. So if a pedestrian walks out in front of you or you're not paying attention, you don't hit your brake, it's going to initiate the warnings, the dynamic warnings there, and let you know there's someone in front of you or there's a vehicle in front of you that's not stopping. You need to initiate your brakes. If you don't, it's going to initiate the brake support. So a pretty cool feature there. Also, you do have post-collision braking. So if you do have an accident, you hit another vehicle, instead of wandering out, maybe if you forget to put it in park or something, it's going to use post-collision braking so you don't wander on out and have another accident or more severe accident. Latch system, that's called lower anchors and tethers for children. I love the acronyms there. Basically that allows you for those booster seats, whether it be a rear facing or front facing, to harness down into the seat so you don't have to use the shoulder strap. That's a little more secure. It's going to be tightened down. You can really get it down there really good. Also for the front facing car seats, you can have a strap system to strap that around to the back of the seat and to the harness, to the tether strap on the back, so you can make sure that that seat's not going to move forward or from side to side that way. So that's pretty much on every vehicle, but I like to point it out. I think it's a really important safety feature for parents out there of kids that are in car seats still. You do have the anti-theft engine immobilizer, and what that does is going to initiate it and saying that if you don't have the coded key, you will not be able to start the vehicle. So people can't put things in there and try to start the vehicle. It needs the coded key, so it's going to immobilize that vehicle unless you have the correct key. And you do have the perimeter anti-theft system. That's what you get when you go from XL to XLT, which means if you have the vehicles locked, even if the windows are rolled down, if somebody gets into the inside, it knows that something has entered the perimeter of that without unlocking the vehicle first, and it's going to set the alarms off. So that's a pretty cool system there. And then you have the secure lock passive anti-theft system as well that's going to go along with your keyless entry there. Now let's talk about the front. So I do have images here. So Ford's building price up here. You can see here at the top, you can go through and click for different sections of the vehicle. So we are going to talk about the exterior first, so let's click on exterior. And it brings those images down, and we do have several images to choose from here. So we're going to, as we talk about different parts of the vehicle, there's a good one on the front. We're going to go to those different shots so you can kind of see what we're talking about here. So on the front of the vehicle, you can see here it does have the black grille, but for the XLT, it's going to get a gray bar across there. So a little different than the XL, dresses it up a little bit more, makes that grille, that bar come across, really pop on the front of the vehicle, giving you that gray bar there. Also, you will have steel bumpers there on the bottom down there to kind of help protect it from things coming on the front up there. You will have auto headlights. So auto headlamps is actually a part of the Copilot 360 features. So with these, you don't get the whole suite. I'll show you how you can get the rest of those as optional equipment. But auto high beams, the way those auto high beams work is if there's no one in front of you, you're in the city, you're out in the country or whatever, and it's dark outside, it's going to turn those high beams on. If someone approaches you or you're in the city lights, it's going to shut them off. So that's how the auto high beams work. You'll also get automatic headlights. It means they'll come on automatically when it gets dark, shut off when it gets light, when you have it in one of those auto settings. And also for the XLT, you're going to have wiper activated headlights, which means you turn their wipers on, the headlights will come on. So that's actually, in some states, it's a law. So this actually will help you out. So that you get that on the XLT, not on the XL. And then you have the daytime running lights as well that you can program in there as well as part of that. So that's all your front features here on there. So it looks pretty sharp up there. Let's go ahead and move to the side here. There we go. There's a side image. See if I can get one a little closer here. Maybe a quarter image here, quarter shot. I think maybe, there you go. Let's do this one. It's on the driver's side so that we can see a little more features there. So the wheel, you can see really good impact from when you go from XL to XLT. You get a 17-inch painted aluminum wheel. So pretty sharp looking wheel. I actually think that's the same wheel that I'm getting on my Bronco. So real nice looking wheel there. You will get all season tires with tire pressure monitoring system. It monitors the pressure of all four of the tires that you can see in your productivity screen. And you're going to also get four-wheel disc brakes. You're going to get a dedicated fender badge there. It comes right below the mirror. You can see it. It's black right under there on the fender. You see that on the F-150s and in the Rangers. This one will say XLT in there, so you know what trim you have for your Maverick there. And then on the lower part of that, the truck down there is the molding, is what they call that. So you do have that that rocker molding. It is going to be molded in black, which means they take the black color and they blend it in with the material so that it's not paint and doesn't chip, but makes it a little more durable for rocks and such to get kicked up from your truck there. Protects it, so you're going to see that. You're going to also see that same material on your mirror caps too, so the mirror caps will get that same material. Speaking of the mirrors, you will have a manual fold mirror with a manual glass as well, so just like in the XL trim. There is a package later where you can get power mirrors. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. When you also go up to the XLT, you get a blind spotter mirror over there in the corner. So that's in that corner. It's kind of an angled mirror, so you can see vehicles in your blind spot a little bit better. Makes it easier to see those vehicles in your blind spot. You're going to get that too. You're going to get your black door handles as well there. So just like with the XL trim, black door handles on the vehicle, and then you're going to also get a keypad. I don't know if you can see that on the pillar there, but you do get a keypad. So you're going to have a remote, keyless entry, so you can use the remote to unlock the vehicle, but you also have a keypad there. So benefit of that is you can leave your keys inside, or maybe if you don't have your keys, you want to get inside, you can use your own special code to get in and out of the vehicle. You just press the code right there. It's usually a 4-digit code to get into the vehicle. No, 5-digit code, sorry. I have one on my truck, but it's 5-digit code that you program to get in there. Also, easy fuel capless filler door. You can see that where it's at back there on the bed side there. You just push that open. Don't have a cap to worry about leaving behind, getting your hands dirty, anything like that. Just put the nozzle in there and fill it up. So I don't have to worry about that. It's a double door system, so it does need the exact size nozzle from the pump. You can't use, in your gas cans is not the right size. You'll need to use a funnel that they provide for you to be able to fill it up. So that's all the features on your fuel tank is going to be 15-gallon. Actually, I think I found a place on Ford's website that is showing it's a 13.8 for the hybrid and a 16.5 gallon for your gas engine or the EcoBoost engine. So depends on which engine you go, how big your fuel tank is going to be there for you. Okay, let's move this around and go to the rear. There we go. So now we can get a good view of that. You can see there you do still have the steel bumpers on the back, just like you did on the front there. So front and back steel bumpers. Rear view camera is standard equipment, so you can be able to see behind you. I think I forgot to mention that in the XL trim. If you did watch that video, rear view camera is standard equipment on all of the Mavericks. And then also you will have a mini spare stored underneath the bed there for your hybrid vehicles. EcoBoost engines do not come with a mini spare, or do not come with a spare. Really weird. They're doing it backwards of what they usually see on a Fusion when those were out. So Fusion hybrids usually got a tire and inflator kit, but in this case it is actually a spare tire. I don't know if that's just something they just didn't think about. We'll see how things progress, but right now it's saying the mini spare is standard on the hybrid, but not included on the EcoBoost engines. You will have a power locking tailgate. So this is an upgrade from XL to XLT. You can lock that tailgate with a remote. So when you lock the doors, it locks the tailgate. Unlock the doors, unlocks the tailgates. So it goes along with the back doors. So that way you can get in and out pretty easily. The door handle is also going to be black there. And you can see the rails. I didn't mention this on the XL, but the rails also are molded black moldings. So that way you can, if you need to lift things over there and you hit the top of that, you're not going to chip any paint and everything. It's going to be more durable that way. On the back of the cab there, you can see those red lights. So it's the center high mounted stop lights. So it's your brake light. So when you press your brake, people that are in taller trucks, they'll know that you're wanting to brake. There's a cargo light as well right there that you can turn on so you can see things in your cargo bed. Fixed rear glass back there, so it doesn't have defrost or power sliding. I'll talk more about some of those. Power sliding, I think you have to go up to the lariat trim, but we'll talk more about that glass. Also does have, now this is showing privacy glass, but it's not mentioning any of that in the order guide. So I'm not sure if you're going to actually get that darker privacy glass on the back glass and the back windows, because it does not mention it anywhere in the order guide. In the pickup box itself, you're going to get 6 tie downs. That's just like you did in the XL. When you go up to the XLT, you also get 4, they're calling them D-Link bed connectors. So that's where you're going to be able to connect more things. So now you have 10 different tie down positions in there, more than you get on the F-150. So real nice being able to have that. And also you're going to have the Kubbi storage in the bed on the passenger side. There's a clip of it. Jumper cables can be stored in there, rope, whatever you might have, if you have those tie downs that you want to be able to put and store, that's where you can store those, stuff them in there. I think it's an 8-inch is what they said, 8 by 8 inch Kubbi box, as you can see there, with a cover on it. So that's pretty cool. That's what you get when you go up. That's something else you get when you go up to the XLT. Now let's move to the interior, and you can do that by clicking the interior up here at the top if you want to, and it takes us right down to the interior. And then you look down here, we're probably gonna use the 360 more than these side shots. You have a couple different images right here, so you can use those images if you want, but we're gonna actually use this 360, get a little closer here and move this vehicle around. So you can just scroll it around like this, try not to make you dizzy there. But you will get your cloth seats. They're, as you can see, unique and different than the XL trim. Looks like they're pretty durable, like can wipe pretty easily, so unique cloth seats. Front bucket seats, as you can see right there with the console. I believe that's a vinyl console cover. They didn't show us any kind of more of an upgrade when you go up to XLT, so that's what you get on the XL trim as well. You will get manual seat adjustment, so it's going to be a 6-way manual driver's seat. So you'll be able to have a lever on the front. You'll be able to go forward and back, as well as the seat cushion should be able to go up and down. Usually on the 6-way, the seat cushion can go up and down, and then you're probably going to have a lever for your backrest, and then it is going to come with lumbar. They mentioned that as separate as well, and that'll probably be a manual dial on the side. The passenger seat will be a 4-way manual adjustment, so the seat probably won't be able to go up and down, and it does have a lumbar. So we don't always see that on the SUVs, so that's pretty cool. I kind of mentioned it, but even the front passenger will get a manual lumbar dial over there on the side of the seat as well. The back seat, let's flip this around here. There we go. You can see that back seat there. It is a full benched back seat, seat 3 back there with all of them will have the shoulder harness. That seat back there can fold down, so you can open that up. That's where they're going to store the jack back there, as well as you'll want to pull that up if you want to put those booster seats in there to put that tether strap in there. You can do that from there. You should maybe have a little room to put your hand back there, but make it a little bit easier. You'll also, hard to tell there, it actually mentions an armrest with cup holders, and I don't see that on this image here. So I don't know if they just need to update their images, but on the order guide it mentions there's an armrest with 2 cup holders that come down. Not sure about that, and can't see that here. And then down here you will have, actually I do see the 2 cup holders down here in the bottom, so they must be in the floor. The seat cushions themselves can come up. Show you an image of that that they showed on the reveal, where you can store things underneath there, so you have under seat storage. So real nice to be able to put things under there for the rear seat. Should have some ways to power devices on the back of that console. I think there's a power point behind there as standard equipment. We'll get more to that in just a little bit. Now let's move back around. Let's look at this door over here. You can see the cutout over here. They designed that for those bigger beverage holders. I actually was on a trip yesterday with my Expedition, and I had one of those bigger beverages. I mean, it really could not fit in the cup holders. They make it here where you can design to fit in the door. I couldn't put that. I wouldn't be able to do that in my Expedition. So that's pretty cool, having that cutout so you can put those bigger beverage holders in there. And then the back doors too have storage for like laptops and such. It's cut out so you can put those in there as well. They showed that on the reveal, and that really cool design. You can see the orange accents on the door, as well as down here in the media hub and even the vents. Those are areas that you can put things in or that you would need to grab. So the vents, and be able to adjust those vents, you would touch those. You can put your phone down in there, so that's going to be orange accents. So that's pretty cool how they're doing that for the XLT trim. Also, you're going to get, for the windows, you're going to get power windows, power locks. We already mentioned that. You do have keyless entry, so you can use that to unlock and lock the vehicle. And so you have power windows and locks. And the windows here will have a one-touch for the driver's window going down. So you just hard press it, and the window's going to automatically go down. You don't have to hold it. You will have to hold it going up, but not down. So you're going to have that as well. And then does not mention power mirrors. So I think you have to go up to the XLT Luxury Package to get that. We're going to talk about that package in just a little bit. The steering wheel will be a black urethane steering wheel here. It will have audio controls on the steering wheel itself. And you will get cruise control when you go to the XLT. We did not even see cruise control as an option at all on the XL trim. So XLT will have cruise control as standard equipment on there. And then you're going to see through there between your speedometer and your tach, you see that little screen. That's a 4.2-inch productivity screen, is what they call it. That's where you're going to see some of your settings. controlled in there. Safety features, that's where you can activate and deactivate your auto high beams if you want to, and some of those features right there in that screen right there. You do have a keyed start, so you would put the key in there and start it. Bring that up is when you go to Lariat, there actually is keyless start. And then down here for your climate control, you do have a single zone manual climate control, so everybody in the vehicle has the same temperature, so you control that right there. And then above that, you're going to see the 8-inch center stack screen. So a real nice screen. You can see your audio and some of the other features. Should be able to Bluetooth your phone in. We'll have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, so you can, of course, if you wire that phone in, then you can use the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay too. And you're going to have the Ford Pass Connect. That's where you can stay connected to the Ford Pass app. And great benefits to that. So you connect your vehicle in there. You can, from your phone, you can unlock and lock your vehicle. You can remote start your vehicle from anywhere. You can schedule remote start times. You can locate your vehicle. A lot of other features in there. So great features. Make sure you connect your vehicle to the Ford Pass Connect. That's going to be standard equipment in all of your Mavericks. And then for your audio controls, AM/FM stereo with 6 speakers. And then scroll this up, overhead console, you will see it looks like it might have a sunglass pen, and those light switches for those overhead lights are right there. And it looks like you have a day-night mirror. Didn't mention this in XL video, but there's a little lever on the bottom of that mirror, so if someone comes behind you with those bright lights, you can flip that mirror down and it takes that day-night mirror down there. Now going back down there into the media hub area, you'll have a USB Type-C, a USB Type-A port, and a PowerPoint right below your climate control down there. And then down there is where you would store this. Now here's a clip that they did in the reveal. Makes it really cool. Put your phone, the driver can put their phone flat down there, and then the passenger can put one more elevated upright, and then there's still a little storage back behind there. So see the cup holders there, as well as another little storage bin behind there. They showed people putting their other keys, or putting their wireless earbuds in there if you want to. You have the rotary dial shifter right there as well, and then you do have right behind that is where your parking brake is going to be. So that's where your activate and deactivate, your parking brake is right there behind where you shift the vehicle. And then behind there you're seeing some buttons there. Not sure, I can't tell in the image what they all are. One of them will be your drive mode button, so that's where you're going to be able to find that button. Is right there. If you get the all-wheel drive, I'm sure maybe some of that will be down in there as well. So, and then in the console, there's a storage bin. I don't think there's any kind of ports in there. There's going to be 2 power points. One is going to be located in the front, one in the rear. So one would be behind the console, and then of course the 2 USB ports, so the USB Type A and C. And C will charge much faster. So if you want to charge your phone fast, plug it into a USB Type-C. A lot of the newer phones are coming with those plug-ins that you can have there. So that's all the I wanted to cover all the standard equipment. So that's all standard right now. I do want to cover a couple different optional features or packages because Ford doesn't always give you all the information on that. So if we scroll up here, not letting me do that, so I'll use the cursor. There we go. First one to talk about is the Copilot 360. So you get a couple features as part of the Copilot 360 is standard equipment, but there's a couple you have to get this package, and it's only $500 to get these. So if we click on the details, you can see those 3 features you get. So on the hybrid engines, you will go from a mini spare to a full-size spare. So if you want the full-size spare, it's included in this package. Don't think I did see it as optional equipment, so I think that's the only way you can get it. And then you also get a couple different other features. One of them is the Bliss, the blind spot information system with cross-traffic alert. Because as you can see there's a vehicle in your blind spot. It's going to alert you and let you know by putting a light in the corner of your mirror for the vehicle, so it's not safe to go in that lane at that time. But also, if someone's going to cross your path behind you, backing out of at a grocery store, or even your driveway, if someone's going to cross your path behind you, it uses those sensors. It lets you know. It lights up the mirror from the side they're coming from, puts a message on the dash telling you if they're coming from the left or the right, but a series of tones it's not safe to back up. Love the Bliss with cross traffic alert included in this package. I think in alone that's worth that $540. But you also get lane keeping system. So this system here includes 3 features. It uses the driver alert, the lane keeping aid, and alert system. So driver alert system means if you're taking your hand off the steering wheel too often, it's going to alert you and let you know that maybe you need to pull off, get some coffee, take a break, whatever it might be. Then you have the aid system and alert system. So a lot of other manufacturers have an alert system. What that's going to do, it lets you leave the lane, but what it'll do is when you cross that line, it's going to vibrate the steering wheel and let you know you've left your lane. But you do also have the aid system, which a lot of manufacturers don't have, and that helps you keep you in your lane. So you can, what it'll do is you can see it kind of alerts you a little bit sooner and then keeps you in the middle of your lane. So a lot of people use that. Now, lane keeping system can be activated with your cruise control, but also at any speed. With your cruise on or not, you can have the lane keeping system activated. So even in town, driving around, running errands and such, to and from work, you can have a lane keeping system on. Which I suggest you do. So that's a great package at $540. So that still keeps you under 23 with the hybrid engine with that package on there. Not a bad package for you to get. There's also the XLT Luxury Package, but before I get to that one, I'll talk about the tow package. And we don't see that here, and that's because we don't have the right engine selected. So you can get the 4,000 pound tow package, but it does require you to have the EcoBoost engine. So if I click that, and it's that corner there, if you don't see it lit up on your phone or your computer, whatever you use. Then if you go back up to the packages, then you can see now if I scroll down, I have 2 more packages given to me now that I went to that engine, and I must have selected all-wheel drive or something because this package here, the FX4, is only available in all-wheel drive. But it does give us the tow package. So it does require to have the EcoBoost engine for the tow package, not available on the hybrid. So it gives you 4,000 pounds of towing with this package. So click on that, and actually they do show everything that's included in that package, so you can revisit that right there. But you can see there what it's going to do. It's going to give you a different tire, so it's a more aggressive tire, especially if you're pulling out of those, if you're jet skis or something you're putting in, you need to pull that trailer out of the water. It's going to give you a more aggressive tire. Also, it's going to give you the hitch back there, which a lot of people want. So it gives you the trailer the receiver hitch with 7-pin connector, which is a lot of trailers come with the 7-pin connectors. But it also upgrades your engine a little bit more, allowing it to function better, keeping the engine cool when you're towing more weight. So it's going to come with the transmission oil cooler, also have the higher capacity radiator, and give you the upgraded cooling fan on the vehicle, and also upgrade your drive ratio for your all-wheel drive. Now, right now, you have to go all-wheel drive with the EcoBoost to get this package added. It is a late availability for this package to be available on the front-wheel drive. I probably, I'm not sure when it says late availability. We don't know when you're going to be able to order those, but right now, if you try to go two-wheel drive EcoBoost and add this package, we will not be able to build it and order it right now. Probably going to have to wait till job order 2, so it could be another 6 months before that's available. So just keep that in mind. So that package is available with your EcoBoost engines. Also, we do have, let's go ahead and talk about the XLT Luxury Package first. So this package here, if you click details, I think they have everything included, but I have in my notes here, so we'll go over these. And I actually have mine positioned a little bit differently because when I talk about equipment, I always think about how it relates to the vehicle and my walk around. So the first thing I want to talk about is the windshield wiper de-icers. So that's a pretty cool feature. So it does help defrost those wipers. So your windshield sometimes will defrost that snow off, but if it's continuing to snow, sometimes it gets collected on the wipers. It's cold outside, it'll freeze up those wipers, but the windshield wiper de-icers will help keep those wipers de-iced. You also get body colored mirror caps. So this is where you're going to go up and get a little bit different design on the exterior mirrors. So body colored mirror caps. You're going to get heated mirrors here as well. And I didn't mention to me if it had power mirrors. Didn't see that anywhere going up to XLT, but typically when you go XLT you get power mirrors. So if I do find that out in editing, I'll flash it right now on the screen so you can see whether or not it gets power mirrors. But you will get heated mirrors, so that'll come in handy defrosting those mirrors. Also, you're going to get remote start. So you're going to have the keyless entry remote. On the remote, you'll have a remote start button. Yes, you can use your app, but if you're close, it takes a little long for the app sometimes to load, and you have to press and hold the button for a while before it activates to start the vehicle. Using the remote is going to be a little bit quicker. If you're close enough to the vehicle, you can use that. Also, in the back, you're going to get the tie down. So I'm going to show you an image that Ford gave us of the bed tie down locking rail. So it's a rail at the top with 2 more brackets that you get that can slide across that rail. I've seen this in the Toyota vehicles before in the past, Tacoma and such. They have them in those similar to that. Also, you're going to get a spray and bed liner as well. So they're going to throw in the spray and bed liner as part of this luxury package. And then you're going to get the full-size spare as part of this package. So I mentioned it was part of the Copilot 360 features, but if you don't want to get those, it's going to be included in this package as well. You're also going to get LED box lighting, so going to light up those. I didn't mention it in the XL video, but standard equipment, you do have these wiring that come out of the bed itself, so you can wire in your own LED lights if you want to. So you can get those LED strips that you see, like maybe kitchens and stuff under cabinets, and you can wire those in, and they already have it pre-wired in there, but they will give you the LED box lighting if you want that. In the F-150s, there's 2 lights in the back and the corner that kind of position an angle so you can see things in the back, and there's a button in the back, so I'm not sure if it's going to be that design or not, but you'll have the LED box lighting. You also get a trailer hitch with 4-pin wiring. So if you don't get the tow package, it's going to be included in this package. So it'll have 4-pin wiring. Will not include all the engine oil coolers and the transmission oil cooler and all those features. So it will not increase your towing capacity. It'll still be at 2,000 pounds of towing capabilities there. Inside, you're going to get, this is where you get your driver's seat. So now you get 8-way power driver's seat, and you're going to get heated seat for the driver and front passenger. Luxury package is looking appealing right now with the power seat, and with that, great. Also, you get leather wrapped steering wheel as well, and you're going to get a outlet inside the vehicle too. So you'll have one in the console or behind the console, and you'll also have an outlet in the bed too. So you're going to have it in both places back there. So it will come with a cover if it's in the bed itself. So you'll see there's an image of the outlet in the bed, so you can see what that looks like. But this package is looking pretty appealing at $2,300. You can upgrade to the XLT Luxury Package. So if you go even EcoBoost engine, you're still pretty close to 25 right there with this package. Okay, so let's talk about another package. You do have the FX4 Off Road Package. Does require to go EcoBoost, and also does require you to have all-wheel drive. So there you go. So here's some of the things you get with this package. Again, I'm going to kind of start from front to back. So you will upgrade your radio, higher capacity radiator, as well as upgraded cooling fan. So a couple of things we see in the tow package included here, but not all of them. You also get hill descent control with this package. So that helps you going down hills. So again, if you're wanting to go off-road, it's going to help with that. You will get exposed front tow hooks up there. So they'll be exposed there so you can pull people out. You'll also come with skid plates to protect it underneath. So if you're going through the fields and that kind of stuff, it'll protect underneath of the pickup that way. And then you're going to also get upgraded wheels. So you'll get a unique 17-inch wheel. So I don't know if you can see in that image there, but you'll get an upgraded wheel that's only available in this package. And you're going to get all-terrain tires to go along with that, again, for going off-road and such like that. You also get a trailer receiver hitch with the 4-pin wiring on this one. So you're really getting a lot of the features as part of the tow package here, other than instead of 7-pin wiring, you're getting the 4-pin. But as you notice, you're getting some cooling, some things to help the vehicle cool off. Not saying that, I'm not condoning that it'll go up to 4,000 pounds, but maybe if you put the FX4 Off Road Package, you might get more than 2,000. Seems like you should be able to. Also, you're going to get a 6.5-inch productivity screen instead of the small 4-inch screen. So it doesn't mention if it includes any kind of off-road screen, but typically on the FX4 Off-Road Package, when you get the bigger productivity screen, you also get an off-road screen as well. So that's all the optional package I want to cover, and they actually did a pretty good job of including most of that in here. Again, FX4 package is not available with the 2.5 hybrid engine. Does require to have all-wheel drive, and again, you can't get all-wheel drive with the hybrid engine. So that package is available in XLT and Lariat, along with Lariat will have a luxury package as well. So 4 different packages that are available as optional equipment. FX4 Off-Road Package, $800. So a lot of these packages are pretty cheap and inexpensive. But when you add some of those different packages, you go to the summary up here. You can do it from the top, and it kicks it down. You kind of see what your price is there with everything right there. And you can reserve your Maverick there as well from this button. Now, that doesn't pull everything you added to the reservation, does not get that information to the dealer. So keep that in mind if the dealer contacts you and say, okay, how do you want to order it? And you say, what do you mean? I thought it sent that to you. It does not. So just keep that in mind. But it does show you your totals down there with your destination. Now, I did mention free shipping earlier, and that this here does not include this $1,500. We have to, as a dealer, everyone has to pay that. That is the cost of getting the vehicle from the factory to the dealer. So the factories will not ship these straight to a customer. They go to a dealer, so that's a different charge. The charge that I'm talking about, free shipping, is from us here at the dealership to your door. So that's where we do the free shipping on from there. So you'd still be charged at $1,500 regardless from the factory. So that's all the equipment I want to cover in this video. There are some other optional equipment, some standalone options. I'm not going to bore you by going through those. There are some different wheel option there, as you can see. So a couple different ones. When you click on some of them, I think this middle one right here is the FX4 one. So when you click on it, it tells you, okay, to get that wheel you have to add all-wheel drive, EcoBoost, and remove front wheel drive. And as you notice, it's 3,000. So it adds everything up, and it might be, I think that might be the wheel for your FX4 Off Road Package, as well as this other wheel here. There you go. It also tells you it requires you to upgrade to all-wheel drive as well. So you have a couple different options there for your wheels right there, as well as your tires down here. And then if you scroll down, you'll see there's some standalone options. I will tell you, a lot of these are aftermarket things that we can do afterwards. If you want to get your truck a little bit sooner, some of those just wait on. You can get those later. You know, the bed lights, you know, you can get some of these are standalone options. I did want to see if there's anything else. I did notice there was one that I wanted to highlight. I think it's on the interior. So if we go on down, we go down to interior. There is a moonroof option here that you can get. Even on the XL trim, you can get a moonroof. So actually not showing it in there now. It was listed. There it is, moonroof, $795. So you can get a moonroof on the XL trim. Let's see if we add that, if it makes us get any package. So you do not have to have the Lux package, it doesn't look like, to get that package. So that's a standalone option. So there's some other standalone options in here for the interior as well as the exterior. So I won't go through all those. Look at those yourself. You can get a manual sliding rear window. That was one that I was wondering about. Right there. So pretty cool. There's all your equipment that you can get as optional equipment. So just feel free to take a look at those. I won't go into those because those, you just click the eye on any of those, gives you more information about those different options, so you can see those standalone options yourself. So that's everything I wanted to mention. If you have any questions you want to reserve with us, we have a link down below. Hit that reservation link. If you have any questions, we have coordinators that can help you out. We have sales guys that know this product and this information, and they can help you out as well. So you can call or send a text message numbers that are on the screen as well. And then you can check out our website. We do have a Maverick page. Of course, Ford's page is much more thorough and everything, but we do have a link on our website page, on our Maverick page, to reserve. So if you don't see it down below, maybe you're on our website, you can click that link as well. Right there. So hopefully this video helps you out. Drop any comments you have, any questions you have down in the comments. I read those myself, respond to those, so I will answer those for you. And don't forget, you can at any time smash that like button. Lets other people know it's a great video they need to watch. I'd really appreciate it. Gets the video out there. I think it's good content for people that are looking and wanting to know what's standard on these, because it's really hard to find on Ford's website. So hopefully you got some information out of this. If you did, smash that like button. Share the video out if you know somebody else interested in the Maverick vehicle or a Maverick truck. Get that out there and let them know about this video. And as always, hit the red subscribe button so you can get subscribed to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. You'll also get notified the next time another video uploaded to our YouTube channel. We will be doing the Lariat trim as well. And if you missed the XL, check down the description. I have a link for that video down in the description. And you can find us on social media. We're at McArthur on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So hopefully you get a little more information about us on those pages. And until the next video, we'll see you later.